All right, let's get into our sort of final topic because I'm splitting it in two because it's a lot that we got to talk about in regards to the Cardi B thing, but and Drag Race. Let's get into some Drag Race news. So I'm sure y'all probably all saw it by now. Drag Race came and went. It aired on Friday. It was a good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed this recent premiere. It was one of the strongest premieres we had in a long time. I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed the fact that and it's no shade, but I'm glad that we didn't do the whole split episode where it's like, oh, we get seven in this episode and we gotta wait till next week for the next seven. Because I always feel like this, regardless of how you slice it, putting all the girls together, the way that they're gonna split it, like you have to find a way to stand out amongst your peers. And this is a strong season of girls, I will say. A lot of the queens on here got a lot of personality. I'm living for it. I love also the fact that a lot of the queens on here are older and we don't have necessarily TikTok inspired queens doing the show this season. A lot of them have been like, yeah, I've been doing it for 12 years. I've been doing it for 15 years. So that's awesome. And they're over 30. So, because I remember I can't remember who it was, but I remember I posted a TikTok on my social media. I don't think I played it here, where there was a queen that was like, can we get some season queens? Like, we definitely missed that. So I love the idea we have that. Um, with the whole situation. Now, regardless of like the talent show, I did kind of miss that. I was hoping they were going to bring that back, but no. Instead, we got a fashion challenge. So, yeah. Number one, I like the fact that the queens feel seasoned and established. Now, how they navigate through the world of Drag Race versus the art of drag, that's TBD. But we're gonna stick it out. Now, I do like the idea of the classic formula that they did also with the return to the classic formula, meaning they're not a mandatory meeting, which some of y'all said there's a certain queen on the show that looks like a mandatory meeting. Was it DD Fuego? I'm like, y'all not gonna sit up here and say DD Fuego looks like a mandatory meeting, which I did cackle at that. But I was like, damn, now I can't unsee it. But then I also followed it up with pre or post op. If you know what I'm saying, I think you do. Now, they had that photo shoot thing that they did, the mini challenge. I don't like that. The screaming and they had the guys coming in. It was giving very much Lady Gaga abracadabra inspired. I still do not, I still have an issue with the pit crew, whatever the case is. Can't afford shoes. Like, why y'all got these people in here barefoot? Because God forbid somebody get something, get a tetanus shot or whatever. I just can't. But also, what's another thing I didn't like? I didn't like the whole dark thing where they had them coming in the room. I mean, I saw that when I did the red carpet thing, where we saw like their entrances followed by they were in the dark workroom. The entrance looks, and then it was the light that they had shining on them. The interrogation light is what I'm gonna call it. And then it was followed by T.S. Madison and Mark Maron from Variety introducing each queen to the stage. I didn't like that. And I also didn't like when I finally got to see the episode, how they pretty much did that whole let there be light thing. And then the Bob and Raja, who was that Asian queen that was on the end? I didn't even recognize who the hell that was. But the three queens of them riding the bike and trying to turn the lights on and all this stuff. I just like, what is the point of this? Like, if y'all were trying to go somewhere with it, but I don't feel like they executed it well enough. It just went nowhere. It was stupid. It wasn't just an excuse to bring back some of the winners. Was that Nymphia on the end? I don't know. I mean, if you ain't wearing a banana, I'm not gonna know if it's you because that seemed to be her go-to gimmick. I mean, she wore a banana dress to the damn premiere. So, but yeah, this episode definitely gave me the golden era of Drag Race, like seasons 4, 5, and 6, where it was just kind of like the girls were catching up or cutting up and reading each other down. Like I definitely loved that vibe with a lot of the queen, and there was a lot of shade being thrown, especially between um Briar Blush, which I don't know if people are gonna like her on the show, and Athena, where her and Brian were going at it, I was living. But Brian, don't come up in there with the shade because this is how the fandom is going to start. They mess on social media and like, I don't like that. They're going to be mean or whatever. It's like, can y'all just watch the show and just take it as it is and just be entertained by the shenanigans? Don't go on social media and start bullying the queens and all that other stuff. So, and like I said before, I love the fact these queens got personality and how they already know who they are when they walk through the door. It's like in the past, we've always seen a lot of queens who um they have no sense of self or know who they are as a queen, and they're always like these diamonds in the rough that eventually find, that eventually find their groove. It's kind of like Tu Wong Fu, where uh Chi comes in as nothing more than a boy in a dress, and then she eventually evolves into this fierce drag queen. I'm glad we're not getting that. These girls are very much self-assured. They know who they are. They are seasoned. They've been doing it for a long time, and I'm here for it. So, um, let's get into the actual situation that happened. So, they did their first little mini challenge, whatever, which I was not surprised that, you know, said I gotta say, remember everybody's goddamn name. Can you please a big ass mouth? Because the big girls, they always be out here screaming. Can you please a? Of course, won the mini challenge. I'm like, well, yeah, because that loud ass mouth of hers, of course she was gonna win it, and it was well deserved. So then we get into the maxi challenge where they had to basically turn the tragical into the magical, where they had to rummage through materials from past seasons and make outfits about it. And of course, Ornation made an appearance. Well, they ain't the first or the last time Ornation gonna make an appearance, because y'all probably already know by now that what the hell's her name? That Vivacious is gonna be on All Stars 11. I'm sure y'all probably already know that by now. So with all that being said, then Discord claimed a box of black items and animal prints, which then we saw her outfit, and then we saw that runway walk, and the outfit was cute. The runway walk was a choice. I'm like, what is that? Like, why is she walking like a cross between Andy Cohen and a galloping horse? Like, it was just like that was not a pump. Like across the road, it's like you got to work on that, sis. And the fact of the matter that Rue was cackling while Michelle was reading her, whispering, it was a whisper read on the walk, was hilarious. So, and then Nene, who actually liked her look, and I know there was some people that were hating Discord on her look that was inspired by Lala Reed. And then Kenya, she didn't pick up any fabrics. And then we saw what that turned out to be. We got the pictures. We're going to get into that in a second. But then also I found it funny because Kenya Pleaser also forgot to pick up fabric for her outfit. Well, I was picking up all this stuff and I forgot to pick up clothes. Another thing that I wanted to bring up too, that I've noticed, like, why somebody got a lot of Florida girls on this season? So that was relatively interesting. We got like a lot of Florida queens up on here, so there might be a Florida alliance. That I don't know if anybody from Florida will win. I could definitely see based off the seasoning of it all. That do y'all think that Athena could be the Sasha Colby of the season, like the way that they're setting it? Because she's been around for a long time. She's got drag daughters, and she's got a drag granddaughter and a drag auntie that is that is on the show. And so you have a mother granddaughter, because she's gonna say mother daughter. It's like child. If she is the child of a different Dion, then you're not the mother. You're the grandmother. So and then they brought up the whole Mykonos thing, and what's her name? Uh Lindsay Lohan and all that mess. So now after they did the reclaim, renew, rejoice runway category, hold on. Let me bring up this picture because we was up in here talking about this other stuff. Can we talk about RuPaul's runway look, which looks awfully familiar? And then I had to be reminded Brooklyn Heights wore it first. So let me take this out for a second, the comments, because y'all gotta see the whole thing. Oh wait, I gotta take this other thing out too. The banner. So if you look at the bottom, Brooklyn wore a pump and Rue was wearing a boot. First of all, I understand Rue is 65 years old, but the dress made her look bloated. It added 10 extra pounds. When you look at Brooklyn Heights, it was giving couture. Rue wearing that ankle boot, it cut off her legs. I didn't like the fact that she was wearing the ankle boot with that. I thought maybe she should have wore a stiletto or something or another instead of an ankle boot. It just didn't look flattering on her. I understand you get inspired by trying to wear some with some of the younger queens and stuff. And I don't want to make this an ageist thing because in drag, if you wear it well, you could wear whatever you want regardless of the age. But it just the outfit was wearing Rue rather than Rue wearing the outfit, in my opinion. Let me put the banner back. And let me put the so yeah, I was not necessarily feeling Rue's look on the runway at all. So yeah, so they did the reclaim, renew, rejoice runway category, and let's get into my overall thoughts in regards of my overall thoughts on the looks. Now, the safe looks, in my opinion, I would say Athena Dion. I did like her look. Discord Adams, her look was safe, no shade. I just did not feel like that she was giving full on, like she really pushed herself. Like I love when these girls come in. Oh yeah, I am the delusional. Well, she was giving delusion. She was giving Q delusions during that. So I'm like, damn, already? Or this is too early in the show for the delusions? Like the Q delusions, I'll say, because that's the one. Q, Lucy LaDuca, pick one. So she thought I was gonna be in the top. I'm like, yeah, the outfit is cute, but I feel like if you're gonna come out and do this aesthetic that we know of Discord Adams from seeing her fashions, she should have been someone who really pushed that look. And I just feel like the look did give safe. It didn't really push the boundaries of what we feel like, okay, you really need to give me a little more. But I felt like you held back and you thought you could just throw something together, and because you design your stuff, that was gonna get you kudos. And no, it didn't. So, I had to take notes and stuff. So of course I'm going to have to go through those. And then yeah, I already made a comment about Discord Adams' horrible ass walk. Sierra Miss Avatar meets Mystique alien look. I thought that was cute in regards of a comic book cosplay challenge, but I wasn't completely sold on that whole situation. I was like the alpha. There was parts of it I liked, parts of it I didn't like. I love the hair and I love the makeup and I love the crown. So I love that. Now, those are the saves. To make sure I got all my saves. Yeah, so those are my saves. Now, in regards to the best looks, Nene Coco with the gift bags that was inspired by Lala Ree. Yeah, there were some imperfections on the side where you can see a little bit of her ass, and there was a little imperfection there. But overall, the construction of it all, because that was her background as an engineer. Like I remember hearing like a lot of times, especially if you watch Project Runway, you hear like designers go, "Oh yeah, I have an engineering background, whatever," and that goes into the construction of the designs and all the other stuff. So I remembered hearing that from Project Runway. So that's why I like that about the overall look of uh Nene's look. I like the look. Whether you how they was feeling about it, particularly Discord. I love the look. I love the design. I love the fact that she was able to make something relatively interesting. And I think that's what it was. It was the overall um architectural design of it all is why they voted for it in the top, in my opinion, or it could have been a producer's choice, but I thought it was a relatively solid look. Then we had Jane Don't with the shower curtain bodice, skirt, and jacket. I was definitely living for that. I mean, the color was kind of crazy, but um I'm not mad at it. It's like drag queens wear loud colors. So wasn't that bothered by the whole situation. So I didn't, so it was cute. I definitely thought Jane Don't's, I own 51% of this company outfit definitely worked. And it was made out of shower curtains. It's not easy to do all of that with the situation. Mia Starr, who I want to call the Tyreek Withers of drag, um, when I was looking at him, I was like, he first of all, he's cute. Number two, so I wouldn't kick him my bed. He definitely is my type. And then I was looking at him, I was like, why does he look like what actor does he look like? And he looks like Tyreek from him. And what was the other movie? Oh, I Know What You Did Last Summer. They look alike out of drag. I was also thinking the light skin one from Kid and Play. I was thinking that too. I like Mia Star's look, and Vita Von Teese stars My Fair Lady Meets Beetlejuice umbrella gown ensemble. I was living for that. So and then we got to get to the worst. So the worst would be Can You Please Her? I like the top, but the skirt was definitely a mess. And then I did not like Didi Fuego's baked potato wrapped in foil look. I hated that look. I was like, now the top part was cute. I thought that was well constructed, but then when she tried to drape it with that foil piece where it was trying to look like a gown, I guess was she the one that made or was it somebody else? You have to remind me because a lot goes on. I can't never remember. Um was she the one that did the whole thing about that was based off Alexi Love with the tarp? It was just like it just didn't. That whole look didn't work for me in that whole situation. So what else? Oh, and then we had Darlene Mitchell. One word I got for her: proportionizing. So I hated that cornhole entrance look. And girl, you from New York. But then again, I always forget, like there's a lot of New York girls that are like good with the comedy, they're good with the performance aspect, but y'all looks be a choice. I don't think New York is relatively known for like pageant gowns and beads and things, unless you were in the ballroom scene and you were doing like what Pepper LaBeige and all of them was doing. But as far as like drag goes, drag queens ain't necessarily known for their fashions, even though we are the fashion capital of the world. So yeah, I didn't like her cornhole entrance look, and I also hated her bedtime runway look. I just didn't like it. It just felt very similar to the entrance look, and I just didn't. I was like, girl, I can see your tuck. I can see your religion. I know you did a whole tuckation situation, but it just wasn't working for me. So there was that, and then we had Juicy Love Dion's blue swimsuit. I did like the part of the bustier part where it was draping in the background. I did love the flowy part. I hated the skirt, so I will agree with Michelle where she was like, maybe if you would have removed the skirt. Well, this is the part where I'm gonna say, if she would have removed the skirt, I believe she would have been more on the safe side. I don't think she would have been in the bottom. But that's just me. But that whole skirt with the thing, and then rely on the body. It's the first episode. You can get away with relying on the body in episode one, but if you're doing it episode two, three, four, five, then it's like, okay, man, we gotta have a talk. So I didn't like the I didn't love Juicy's swimsuit. Briar Brush, sorry, pink corset look, hated it. It made her look big on camera, kind of like with RuPaul in that belt outfit. It made her look bigger than what she is. And I've seen her in person because I told you I worked the red carpet. She's a lot smaller in person. So when you're on TV, it adds pounds to you. So I wasn't really liking that outfit. And then Mandy Mango, perfect. The who I like to call the Timu Nymphia win. I was not liking that outfit. The entrance look, it did look give like costumey very much. Like she got that nurse outfit from the pleasure. What they call that? The pleasure principal, pleasure police, women pleasure, the pleasure chest. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name of that place. The pleasure chest. It looked like that costume was giving very that. It was It was very spirit Halloween. I didn't like the entrance look. We get that you're a nurse in real life, but the outfit was just packed was a haggard mess. And so I didn't like that. Yes, she is giving me Timu Nymphia win teas on this season. I was like, wait, is Nymphia competing again? The bitch already won. Why are you coming back? So it was that. And then I did not like that bulky wicker basket dress and the over accessorizing of the flowers. You had that draping on. I'm like, okay, you are doing too much. Maybe she would have found something to cover the wicker basket part. it would have been it would have been a more sellable look, but personally I just did not like it. So then of course let's get into what else we got. So let's get into Cardi B as a judge. I loved Cardi B as a judge on this episode. I thought she did a phenomenal job. She definitely was using a lot of our vernacular, the tens and work and all the vernacular that us in the community use. There was a lot of that there. And the fact that she was honest about some of the looks, how she told me she hated it, that some of them need to work on their makeup or whatever case was, how she said that she um how to sell a look, which Juicy did do, and um, it was basically saying that the outfit was ugly, but she sold it. And then there was that, and then of course let's get into our top two. And she basically had to go in and say that, I'm a very tough judge. So she had to, when she went in the room and with the girls, whatever the case was, and had that conversation with them and brought in Tokyo Styles, the two T girls who do on her team of hair and makeup, which I actually love the fact that we have someone in the community. Well, Cardi does identify as bisexual, even though some people feel otherwise. I don't think she's going to phone it and be phony about it like that other girl, the one who has that fandom with Barbie dolls, and say that they're bisexual, but you ain't never seen her out here messing with no girls. But Cardi is from the stripper world. They do all kinds of shit with each other. So I don't put nothing past Miss Bell Callis on who she be out here messing with. So, um, what was it, Erica LaPearl and Tokyo Styles. I don't know why I can remember the other girl's name. So yeah, when them going in the untucked room and having a conversation with the girls, I definitely love that. And the fact that how Tokyo was like, yeah, I got into doing makeup and all that stuff because of Drag Race. And you seem to forget. I'm like, damn, you forget that this show has been on for like what, 18 seasons, possibly 19 years or 17 years. Notwithstanding, so when you're thinking about that, you forget how long this show has been on and how impactful it's been for a lot of people and inspirational. And that, yeah, a lot of people get into drag, or not even just drag, they do makeup, they get into the makeup artist scene, or they get in their hair, doing hair design or whatever the case is, because they watch Drag Race and they bring a lot of that ballroom culture, or they bring a lot of that drag culture into a lot of those cis spaces, which I did agree. I was 100% on board with what Cardi had to say in regards to that. And she was like, yeah, that she don't care what anybody thinks. She goes around with her entourage, her her glam squad of trans women be with her whenever she's traveling or going wherever, doing whatever. And she said the men be looking. I'm not gonna spill no tea, but the men be looking. I was like, oh, trust. We know the men get with the dolls. We've heard many of the stories, be it from T.S. Madison, trans girls I know, and the stories that a lot of people tell is like, yeah, the men are visual creatures. They're gonna look at someone, and if you look like a woman, but then you so happen to have a little something extra between me down there, the men gonna get with it. So, yeah, can you please? She got read down to the floor, and I did cackle. By Cardi, where she was talking about, yeah, that outfit was ugly and the makeup was, and it was like she should have changed the hair and all this other stuff. And then we have our top queens, which was Nene and Vita, which I was living for, and that lip sync was everything. And that was just like, I know a lot of people were shocked that Nene Fuego ate up in the lip sync. Now I will say this: what I was hoping, because I was like, now I got to go back to my notes because I'll be forgetting broads' names and things. Um, who was it? Did I say? Oh wait, I'm looking at my safe stuff now. Nene Coco, I definitely thought cute, whatever. I would have liked to have seen Jane Don't, to be honest, and Vita go up head to head with each other. But I understand for production narrative stuff, because of what Discord and all the other girls were pretty much discounting or counting out Nene. The fact that y'all had her win the first challenge to start conflict with the girls, and the fact that Discord was so upset that she was placed safe that she had to get reassurance from Cardi B, being like, so, did you like my look? Would you wear my look? And then they had to rewind back and say, like, and she was like, well, if she said that she would wear Nene out or whatever the case, I would kill myself. When I'm a girl, but you better get that rope, because she said that she basically liked Nene's look. She said, I would wear that. And so I'm sure when she watched that episode on Friday, Discord gagged. So yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, we got to talk about the lip sync. So the lip sync to Cardi's Enough track, which that one was everything. And watching drag queens perform to that, and the fact that people were gagged and gooped, because I sure was, that Nene ate that lip sync down. To me, I felt like Vita wasn't playing to the camera. And you have to realize this: when you are doing a show like Drag Race, you have to play to the judges, you have to play to the camera, you have to play to the front of the room. So it's like the cameras have to be able to capture all of that, the emoting, the fact that you know the lyrics, you got to move with the music, you got to do all of that. And to me, I felt that Nene gave that. Vita did not. So I was not surprised that Nina won that lip sync. And so far, so good. I feel like the show was definitely starting off strong. I don't like that because I did get like a sneak peek of like all the episodes that's to come, because I watched Drag Race on Philo. They bringing back RuPaul's Drag Race Live. I don't know why y'all keep doing an SNL equivalent of Drag Race. It is not funny. It's annoying. I hate it. But y'all keep doing these episodes. Next week, what are the? Oh, speaking of which, you want to know something? Speaking of Brooklyn Heights, when we brought up that thing, I think RuPaul's Drag Race needs to take a page out of the Brooklyn Heights handbook. In regards, can we get a golden beaver or some kind of twist or something over there? Because here's the thing. I love one of the things that has drawn me into this, and y'all know I was not a big Canada's Drag Race fan in the beginning, but it wasn't until y'all had on my Linda Virgo that season that's what pulled me in. And then y'all started doing the whole golden beaver thing. I like the idea of like we have a queen who wins a challenge, and they got to choose between the three of the queens in the bottom, which one you will save, and then you have the lip sync for your life. We need something interesting to happen on this show when you have the girls kind of do that whole thing. Like, I love this idea of the whole Golden Beaver thing. Why not do something like that for America or something similar for the US version? Because we definitely need a shakeup over there. The whole usual thing that y'all be doing with the double episode and y'all don't eliminate people in the first episode. We already know that. Y'all haven't eliminated somebody since what in the last 6 seasons. A pork chop in the first episode. So y'all haven't done that in a long time. So that's not shocking anymore. We need y'all to shake the table. If you want to get people to come in and watch Drag Race. I mean, Onyx, friend of the show, has talked about that this season, him seeing that first 10 minutes got him interested in wanting to rewatch Drag Race because he wasn't all that excited. And you want to get people excited over the show. I think y'all definitely need to bring that up in here. So congratulations to the queens. Nobody went home this week. We'll find out on Friday, on the 9th, my mother's birthday, actually. Who sachets away, who's gonna be the pork chop of season 18. So with all that being said, I definitely want to hear from y'all what you guys think of this story in regards of, did you see the premiere of Drag Race? What did you think of some of the looks? What did you think of some of the queens? Do you have a favorite yet? Do you not have a favorite? I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite. You already know I already mentioned what's her name? Maya Star, his cute self. I like Athena. Um Yeah, I don't have any real favorites yet. I need to get to know the queen. By episode 3 or 4, I already have all the queens down. I'll be able to see and understand people's personalities, and I'll have the people that I like, and I'll have the people that I'll just be working my root canal nerve until this season's over. So I definitely want to hear from y'all regarding all of this tea. So without further ado, let me know them comments down in the comment section below.